In case you were wondering what Steve Bannon has been up to, the disgraced former Trump chief of staff showed up recently at the Hudson Institute Conference, Countering Violent Extremism, Qatar, Iran, and the Muslim Brotherhood, where he compared American ally Qatar to North Korea and repeated the false claim that Qatar supports terrorism while advocating the isolation of Qatar. Steve, the Prince of Darkness, Bannon, who's been quoted as saying, "Darkness is good, Dick Cheney, Darth Vader, Satan, that's power," seems to have a new agenda. So why is Bannon mucking around in Middle East policy, particularly involving one of America's best allies in the region, given that Qatar is the U.S.'s most reliable partner in the war on terror? Probably for the same reason that Bannon was thrown out of the White House in August. He is a traitor and part of a dangerous group of neocons with a Zionist agenda to start a war with Iran and take over Qatar at the same time. An Eye on Qatar investigation revealed that Bannon has financial ties to the United Arab Emirates. He is linked to the firm SCL Group, which shares the same parent corporation as Cambridge Analytica, a company Bannon has an ownership stake in. SCL has received $330,000 to implement a social media campaign against Qatar. Bannon is also buddies with American mercenary Eric Prince, former head of the notorious Blackwater, who is currently living in the UAE and reportedly setting up a mercenary army to invade Qatar. Deepening the rift in the already divided Trump administration, the Saudi-UAE invasion of Qatar was being planned with the knowledge of a cabal of neocons in and around the White House. According to multiple news reports, Trump got on the phone with Saudi and UAE leaders, warning them of the consequences of invading Qatar. Trump then promptly fired Bannon for, among other things, his role in the fiasco. Bannon's traitorous activities have continued as he and mercenary Prince, along with other war profiteers on the Saudi and UAE payroll, beat the drums of war for attacks on Qatar and later Iran. Carrying on his work with Breitbart, he has talked about plans to start a global security conference series aimed at the Persian Gulf, Sub-Saharan Africa, Central Europe, and East Asia. Breitbart has published more than 80 Qatar-related headlines, mostly negative, since the recent blockade against Qatar began. For Bannon and his neocon cohorts, this isn't about security. This is about money and global domination. Qatar sits on one of the largest natural gas fields in the world, which it shares with Iran. All of Bannon's actions at the behest of foreign powers are against the interests of the U.S. and its allies. So this is not about terrorism. This is about treachery.